takes forever sometimes. Hi, guys. How are all of you guys doing? I have my beautiful friend, Sam. Oh, Sam, there we go. Eventually I'll get used to this. It's the opposite. She is one of the leaders for the Mystery and Mayhem Readathon. And she also has a wonderful channel, which you're also right now, you just started doing like a gardening vlog.
Yes.
And I love it because I used to be a flower farmer. So I'm like obsessed with anything that has to do with that sort of stuff. And it's like, I feel like I'm getting my fix from you because I'm obviously not flower farming now.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I'm like a wannabe flower farmer. I do it purely because I enjoy growing flowers, cut flowers specifically for myself.
Yeah.
Um, and I first started doing it because I am a DIYer through and through. So I'm like, let's grow my own wedding flowers. So
Oh, yeah.
when I bought my house, I started growing like sunflowers and dahlias and amaranthus and a bunch of different plants that I was like, I want in my wedding bouquet. So now it's just like taken over my life, and that's the hard part. Like in Michigan, we don't get flowers in the winter for a very
Oh,
long
yeah.
time. So starting it now, it's given me so much life. I listen to audiobooks when I garden, and
Love
I'm
it.
just enjoying the sunshine and the warmer weather.
Yes. Yes. We lived in an old house and we had like a huge lot. It was huge for being right in the middle of the city. And so we figured, well, we don't really need this much land. Let's just use the whole backyard and make it into a flower farm. So we had, I think we figured up it was like 2,800 square feet of flower beds, I want to say. And then we ended up with like this single wide horse trailer. So, like, it was this rounded horse trailer, all this stuff. We ended up painting it pink, calling her Joy. And we went around and we did like build your own bouquet bar. It was,
I love that
yeah,
so
it
much.
was so much fun. It was so much work. I never thought it was going to be as much work as it was, but it was a lot of work, but we really enjoyed it. And so I do miss my flowers. I have to like I'm like waiting for someone around here to start doing flowers because no one is. So I have to get them from Walmart, which is not a problem, but they're just a little different whenever you grow them yourselves compared to whenever you buy them from Walmart. And so I'm like, I just need like my like realistic flower fix, and I'm not getting it yet, but eventually maybe I will.
Yeah, that's surprising because I feel like it's really taken off, like people doing it even just for fun or
Yeah.
like business wise. I know in my area, we actually have a society that it's called Dahlia Hill, and it's all volunteers, and they just plant hundreds of different varieties of dahlias, and
Oh
then they
no.
have a tuber sale, and it's way cheaper than like getting them even from Walmart.
Yeah.
And my friend and I started going to it and collecting different varieties. And then actually, Michigan has some of like the largest dahlia farms.
Wow.
And they've been doing like open houses and all this fun stuff. And so it's really like taken over the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
And I love it. I'm here
Wow.
for it.
Yeah, we could kind of do dahlias, but not a lot because it is very hot here. And they are like they thrive in it, but their tubers don't like it too much. So I don't know, it was weird. We always had to do all sorts of special stuff with them. We had them for a very short amount of time because once it got too hot, they were like, we're done. Which I get. I'm the same way. So, can't blame them. Can't blame them.
Yeah, the
Well,
only problem that for in Michigan is you have to dig them all up, wash
yeah,
them off, and then store them, so they're definitely a lot of work, but at
yeah,
least you get, like, endless blooms once they start blooming,
yeah.
and so I'm obsessed with them, but they're definitely not for, like, the faint of heart of just plant them, leave them, and let them grow.
Right. Yep. Yeah. They were a lot of work, but they're pretty, so they're worth it.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we're going to start saying hello to some people. We have Grandma Susan. Hello. Hope you're having a good morning. She is just the sweetest. Honestly, everybody on here is the sweetest. Hello, Carla. How are you? I also want to know what you guys are going to be reading or working on because since it is the middle of the day, I know not all of us can just sit around and read. I was telling Sam that I'm going to be trying to read, but I do have stuff I also have to do during these sprints, so feel free to get some work done if you need to. And Shannon, this is my mom. Hi, Mom. Good
Hi.
morning. It's always weird. I feel like every time she comes on, I have to say it because I can't just call her Shannon. Like, it
Right.
just is weird to me. So I'm like, I need to introduce you as my mom so that way I can call you mom from here on out. I don't just call random people mom. Hi, Donna. And then we got Courtney. Hello, ladies. Picking up my son from school, and I'll jump back on once I get him lunch and he's situated. Totally understand. I was literally just telling Sam that Cody happens to be home today. It wasn't planned, but the way that his job worked out, he was home. And so he actually has Piper at the park today. Otherwise, I was like, this is going to be interesting because she's a feral child today is the problem. And I'm like, there's only so far you can go on a boat. So you guys are probably all going to have to babysitter with me. Yeah. Good morning, Amy Marie. You're working, but wanted to hop on. Hey, that is just fine. We definitely appreciate it. Hello, Laura. How are you? What are you reading today? Oh my gosh, my thing is like, we're on internet that's on a Wi-Fi boat. So sometimes things take a little longer to load. There we go. Okay, Kay. Hello. Still just drinking coffee and hugging the like button. Thank you so much. And I feel like I should know this, but I keep forgetting what your actual name is because I always see Kay Simmons and I know that that's not like that's it, but that's not it. So please remind me of what your name is because I see you everywhere and I go onto your channel, but I always forget. There's just so many people that I'm learning and meeting now, which is wonderful. That's amazing. I can't say I have a green thumb. I actually killed a cactus once, so that was impressive. Yes, I've done that. I have done that. I was the person who was like, let's do succulents because those are hard to kill. No.
Okay, people think just because you have a green thumb that you don't kill plants. I have killed many plants. That's how you learn.
That's true. That's true. There have to be the ones that, it's like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to volunteer as tribute for this because you're not going to survive. But other ones will come after you and it'll be great.
Yeah,
Yes.
and like some plants you're just better at than others. I've had a hibiscus in my garden since I've moved in this house, which has been like 6 years. I cannot get the dang thing to bloom to save my life.
Yep.
And other people are like, "Oh, this is the easiest plant ever. You just plant it in this spot and it grows." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Nope. That's how I feel about hydrangeas. I've killed every single one. Tried everything I could. Can't do it. Can't do it. Sam, please send some of that warmth up here, just a little bit. Oh, man, what temperature is it there? Because right here, it's supposed to get up into the triple digits this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So I'm in like the thumb of Michigan and it's been pretty hot this week, but it's finally starting to come down. We were in like the 80s with high humidity, but now I think today it's supposed to be in the 70s and it's been gorgeous. The humidity is a lot lower.
Yeah.
But then now of course for like the Memorial weekend it's supposed to be cold and rainy. I'm like, go figure.
Naturally.
I mean, 60s isn't cold, but when you've had 80 degrees,
Yes.
it really feels chilly.
Yes, we finally had an actual spring because most of the time it's like we have a week of spring and then it's just summer, like almost all year. It's weird. So this was the first year where it's like we actually have the actual seasons in the time spans that you're supposed to have them. So now we're coming up to summer and I thought I was ready, but I am not. I'm not. A lot of people are like, you live on a boat, you must love summer. And I'm like, no. I don't actually, not at all because it is so hot.
I was gonna say, not when it's that warm.
Yes. Well, and then like our dogs, we have an old one who sweats no matter what. And so it's like she just gets even sweatier when it's hotter. And then she just smells and she already smells an old dog, so I'm like, and my kid, she's just sticky and smelly all the time too. So, I'm not ready. Carla says they have lupines blooming right now. Love them. Oh, those are such pretty flowers. Have you ever seen those, Sam?
I have. I don't have any, but I'm really trying to diversify as much as I can. But depending on what zone I'm in, I'm really limited, but I've
Oh yeah.
seen pictures of some of the accounts that I follow in, like, the southern areas, and I'm obsessed.
Yes. So I did one last year, and it was this is my nerd side. It was called the Hedwig ones, and I was like,
That's cool.
I love me some Harry Potters. Let's do them. And they were pastels, and I am obsessed with
Whoa.
pastel covers, like or colors. If you look at my boat, you would know that. So
Mhm.
I was obsessed with those ones. And then they have dahlias, but they're not blooming yet. Yeah, those are usually pretty late bloomers for us in the South, but it might be different for you guys up in Michigan and the northern states.
I don't even so my tubers, I just divided them up. I actually lost a lot of them because I didn't realize my husband stacked them and I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
check on them and they molded, and that was the first
Mhm.
time I've ever had that happen. Also, probably because I have way too many that I kind of grew bigger than I could manage, and I had a rough fall, so we just, like, threw them in bags and boxes, and then he stacked them, and then by the time I caught it, I lost a lot.
Yeah.
So I haven't even planted mine. This is typically when we start planting them
Oh,
in
gotcha.
Michigan. Um, Honestly, by Mother's Day, we still normally get a frost. So Memorial Weekend is when you're kind of good to go. However, I have 4 dahlia plants that popped up in my area that apparently we didn't dig up all the tubers for,
Wow.
and they came back. We
That's
had a very
amazing.
mild winter, so
Yeah.
and they're thriving. I already pinched them, because I like pinching them so I
Yep.
have more blooms,
Mhm.
and I bet, like, in a month, they might start blooming.
Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see the photos of that and the video footage. I'm gonna live vicariously through you. So our dahlias need to do good this year, Sam,
Yeah,
because
well,
I'm ready to see
it's
some.
normally, I feel like August before I get blooms,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
definitely like a late summer, early fall flower for
Right.
us.
They're so pretty though. And Donna, this is my best friend, and she says, not gonna lie, not sure what a dahlia is. So I feel like I did you wrong, Danya. Danya? Okay, so here's a fun story with that. Piper used to always call her Aunt Danya because she just could not say Donna. So we definitely do go back and forth. But yeah, well, dahlias are also my Patreon members. So there's that shameless plug.
I love that. That's what I was like, "Oh gosh."
I know I couldn't pass it up because I'm also like it's a little bit mystery because one of my favorite authors, Susan Wittig Albert. I don't know if you know who she is, but she
Mm,
has an entire series that is it's like it's about flowers, but they're called the dahlias. They're like the little group,
I love
and I'm
that.
like that's pretty perfect. So Amy
Sounds like
Marie, I killed a succulent. Yes, those are so pretty. Have you seen the cafe au laits? Those ones are so gorgeous.
I had
But
one,
yeah, did
and
it
it
not go
did
well?
not survive after, like, the 2nd year, that I stored it, and I was heartbroken.
Yeah,
Heartbroken.
yeah, same thing. Same thing. I had it for a year and then I stored it and then I did not have it the next year. Yeah, so pretty.
They come in so many, it's hard to describe them because they come in so many different
Yeah,
varieties and colors, and yeah, but so, like, describing it to someone, I would just say they're, like, really pretty,
yeah, they're so
lots of
pretty.
petals.
They're always different. I could go on and on and on about dahlias because I know way too much information. Yes, those were some of my favorites. I love the ones like that.
Yeah,
So
I have
Laura says that she
one.
feels the whole killing of a succulent. So that's good. My thumb is the opposite of green purple thumb. I had to learn to not have a purple thumb. It took a lot of work. And I'm still not good at it. I kill anything that's in pots every time. So Amy says, Laura, a purple thumb. I love that. I got impatient and overwatered it. Story of my life. Then I tried some easy flowers that everyone told me I couldn't possibly kill. I feel like the ending of that story is that you did, though. But that's why we like fake plants. Those
Mhm.
also, I'm actually right now, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Um, I have really bad allergies when it comes to like dust. And so I have to dust pretty frequently. And so I have to literally do what's called stripping. So you do it, you usually do it with your clothes. So you'll put like water in a bathtub, you do borax, and you do like laundry booster, laundry detergent, all this stuff. Well, I do it with like Dawn dish soap and the laundry booster because it's like a house cleaning product in the water, and then I just soak all my fake plants in it, and it like gets rid of all of the dust, and then you just lay it out and let it dry for a day.
That's so smart
Yeah, so that's why
because
I have
I
no
have
planter right now.
fake flowers around my house too, and I have lots of pets, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "How are you supposed to clean
Yes,
these?"
it's one of the easiest things. You can do it to where like you just like dip it in really fast and then you go, but I'm like, I don't have the time for that. I'm gonna just shove them all in the water, let them sit there for a while, and then I'll pull them back out. That'll be
Yeah,
fine. It'll be fine. So
that's
that's a
so
wonderful
smart.
idea. Yeah.
Mm.
So Donna says, I work for a logistics company, so I'm booking freight on trucks while tuning in. I started the Orphan Train last night and really wish I was reading it right now. Yes, that's one that I'm pretty sure I was with you when you bought that one. It looked really good. It makes me want to read the Circus Train, though. I'm really itching to read that one. Carla loved the Orphan Train. So there's glowing recommendations. My name is Christina. Okay, see, I knew that. And every time I'm like, it's Christina, I was like, don't say it. Don't say it just in case you're wrong. You don't want to look like an idiot. That's I don't care. Since I'm retired and live in assisted living, I can read, listen anytime I want. Listening to An Assassination on the Agenda, historical cozy, will finish during your sprints. Wow, I've never heard of that one. I like historical cozies though. So I'm here for that. I'm just really in a cozy phase, and I think it's because I'm like, I know we're getting close to summer, and I'm gonna really miss the spring. So I'm like, I just want all the cozies. You're reading Two Twisted Crowns, the sequel to One Dark Window. Oh my goodness, I read those, and I loved them. I really did. They weren't 5 stars for me, but they were super close. They were very close. Sam, have you read those ones?
Yeah, actually not was it the prior month? I honestly my timeline and time frame of everything is just out the
Yeah.
window. The book club I co-host with my friend April, we did One Dark Window a couple months ago. I don't know. So I
Gotcha.
read the first one.
Yeah.
I have yet to read the second one. It's on my
Oh
list
man.
for this year. I've been
Yeah.
really bad about reading like the first of books, and I have literally a whole
Nothing.
TBR cart filled of second books, which
So
actually I'm hoping to get to a second book in a duology or series
yeah.
for the Mystery and Mayhem readathon.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, Sam and her friend they do a book club. And this month they're doing Light Lark, which is why she is currently reading it. I already finished it. Oh, you have like the special pretty edition. I just have the regular old paperback, but I like it. It's fine. So then what we need to do is next month force you to read Nightbane. Isn't that the next one?
Yeah,
Yeah. So then you'll have read the second one in the series instead of just the first.
I know. We try to do, like, the first ones, and then if people want to read the second one, they
Yeah.
can, but, we actually read Iron Flame when that
Yeah.
came out just because that was so highly anticipated and so many people had read Fourth Wing,
Yeah.
but we're gonna vote, so maybe we'll throw that in for the next pick if people wanna just jump in with the second
There
one.
you go. There you go. Yeah, we're doing Skyward with my Patreons. And I was asking, because my husband's also a part of it, and my best friend, my mom, all these people. And I was like, okay, well, what book should we do next? And Cody was like, we should definitely not do the next book in the series because he knows it would aggravate me, where I'm like, chances are if we don't do that, then I'm going to have to wait months to finally read the second one, just because it's so hard sometimes to fit these books into our TBRs. And especially whenever you're trying to create content, like you have different things that you're reading for or doing things for, and sometimes they just don't fit. So he's being a little turd, but maybe next month. Hello, Sam. It's really nice to meet you.
Hi.
And my husband used to joke that our house was where plants came to die. I've gotten better. Yep, that's
Mm.
true. That's true. I mean, my mom raised me, which is why I couldn't grow anything, but we've both grown. And hers and my dad's garden is, oh, it's gorgeous every year, every single year. They literally have people that want to take like photos at their garden because it's so pretty. It is 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius here, and it has been raining. What? 64. I don't even know when the last time we were in 64 was. That
Yeah.
was probably our winter.
She's in Northern Michigan, and I love Northern Michigan, but it is cold for significantly longer.
Yeah.
Mackinac Island, which is like in between the two peninsulas of Michigan. It's on a gorgeous island. Their lilacs were just starting to like bloom. And I was
Mhm.
like, our lilacs bloomed like 3 weeks ago. They're
Wow.
it's just crazy, even though it's geographically not that big of a difference, but it
Mhm.
does typically stay a little bit colder.
Yeah.
However, come summertime when everyone is dying of the heat, Northern Michigan is where it's at.
They're gonna
It
be
is
thriving. They're
gorgeous.
gonna be thriving. So what's gonna happen is whenever it starts getting like that, I'm gonna have to come visit Christina and you guys. That way I can cool off. I will be
Yes.
like the birds and I will migrate
Yes.
because it gets so hot here. It's fun. The difference it I don't think you meant oh there it is. The difference in accents between the two lovely hostesses is adorable. I didn't even notice, but I bet there is one. I bet there
I
is one.
I'm from the Midwest, and I've been told so many times that we have an accent, and I'm like, "We sound normal to me," so I
And
don't
see, I
know.
do hear yours, but to me, I'm like, I sound normal, but I probably sound way more Southern. So,
And I probably well, and I coming from, like, the Midwest and rural Midwest, I'm probably a lot more, like, I don't know, country,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. Well, if we want to feel better about ourselves, I'll just put Cody on here and he'll talk, and he's very country. So then he will sound super normal. he's he's like my buffer when I go out places. I'm like, I'll sound not so Southern when you're around, which is pretty great. Or it might do the opposite and just enhance and like really showcase how Southern I am. Sam, I'm in Minnesota, so you can definitely do lupines. We planted our
Ooh,
tubers a week ago.
that's good to know.
My thing's glitching. There we go. And my mom agrees that we have different accents. So that's awesome. And Danya is cooler than Donna. I know. I know. I really wish Piper would still call you that because it was so stinking cute. But she has since understood. Hi, Lily. You're reading Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Finney, and I have never read a book faster on the edge of my seat. Is that the one? Did they not make that one into a movie quite a while back? You'll have to let me know if they did, because if they did, I've watched the movie. I don't really remember much about it, but I do remember feeling that same way when I watched the movie. But it could be a completely different movie. Donna is cool no matter what you're called. That's true. Donna is she's stellar. She really is. Oh, and Cody says hi there. Okay, I can't keep talking about him because he's here now. So he loves, or you love rock, paper, scissors. So fun. See, and I feel like if Amy Marie likes it, I'm gonna like it. She has yet to do me wrong when it comes to her recommendations. She has such solid ones, but that's because most of hers are mystery, and I'm obsessed with mystery. In case you guys don't know, I just also realized I'm literally wearing both of my Mystery Mayhem shirts. That was
Cute.
not meant to happen. I was just like, wow, I'm actually quite cold because the AC's on. So, oh, you're my fave. Oh, my mom and Donna fangirling over each other. You're so. I am so excited about Murder and Mayhem. I am also like slightly stressed just because it's like I'm like the brains behind this, and I don't know how much brains I have because I'm just like I'm wiped out, guys. But I really do hope that this is such a fun time for you guys, and that um, next year we might end up doing it a month long. But I'm like I'm stressed for just a week's worth of stuff. But we'll see. I hope you guys do enjoy it. I hope you guys get lots of reading done. That's my goal.
I'm so excited.
Oh,
I'm taking the time to read as much as possible because I have so much motivation now
yeah.
to, like, help the team out and,
Yes.
like, I have a purpose, like, I have to read to help out the team.
Oh, I know. I know. Whenever I would do these, I'm like, no, I'm going to be a little lazy. Then I'm like, but the team. Yeah. So I get it. And I think that those are fun ones because you don't even like, you can be like me, who's the wallflower. I'm in other ones and I literally don't say a word, but I still want to help the team. Like
Mhm.
I think readathons are perfect for all types of personalities. And that's something that I really appreciate about them. So we can all be in there, do our thing, however loud or quietly you want to do them. And I love it. You just heard about my sprints on another channel, so I'm popping in for the first time. Well, that is wonderful. Hello, it is nice to meet you. We're so happy to have you. Oh, good, Amy Marie. I'm so excited and scared to see what happens next. Well, there you go. I'm excited for you. Oh my goodness. This is actually supposed to say Boompaw, if I'm not mistaken. So this should be my dad. My dad is called Boompaw, and my mom is Boo. So we have Boompaw and Boo, and their last name is Small, but it says Boomaw, so I'm not 100% sure. You guys also have the same color, I think, of y'all's logos. But if this is Dad, hi, Dad. He never does like tech stuff like this, so that's pretty shocking. Hi, Vanessa. It was so nice to actually be able to jump onto your sprint earlier. I felt terrible that I couldn't stay for the long thing, but I realized I needed to get some stuff done for here. But it's so good to see you. Your lilacs are just blooming this week, but they probably won't stay long. Yeah, that's the issue with lilacs. They are very short-winded little flowers, but they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. You're from Washington State, and a customer once told me I had an accent. I was so excited. Oh, see, when you're in the South and people tell you have an accent, you're kind of like, is this good or bad? Because not everybody likes Southern accents. And I understand. I understand why. I do. But, you always have to question that. You can get here by boat too. Well, there you go. I will just slowly meander on up there. And then we'll stay for the week. Yes. Okay. Boom pop. That's my dad. Good morning, Dad. I bet you're not reading, but I'm sure you're going to be productive. And she's not sure. I love both your accents. I've been told that people from the Southwest, especially Arizona, don't have accents, which makes me a little sad. I mean, I'm trying to think now. Like, I don't know if I ever thought that you had an accent, Amy, but I also know that like there is something different with your voice. Does that make sense? Like it might be the inflections and stuff, which I guess is an accent, but I wouldn't have pinpointed you from Arizona. Which I think that they have accents. Maybe they don't. I don't know. They're not like as prominent as like Brooklyn accents.
Yeah, we have family that live in Arizona. Well, my husband does, and I feel like they don't have accents, but then some of his cousins, they also they talk in like their own kind of slang. And I don't know if it's
Oh
like
yeah.
their generation
Gotcha.
because of her age
Yeah.
or their, location.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. You washed your Mystery Mayhem long sleeve t-shirt. Can't wait to wear it Saturday. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saved mine. I saved mine for Saturday too.
Oh yeah. Well, I should have.
Excited.
I did too. Then y'all can't tell that I'm mine. No, I've actually worn it twice already, just because I am a t-shirt person and I go through them so much, and so I've already worn it twice. But they're so comfy too. You've been wanting to start my Mystery and Mayhem TBR all week. Yes, I was helping her because she's never done a readathon before. And she's like, I don't understand points. And it's like, okay, let me help you, boo boo. And we kind of got like a little TBR set up for her. And that was like the first time, if I'm not mistaken, Donna, that you've ever done a TBR. And I think we may have like created a monster. I think every month it's going to be a thing. She says, hi, Stephanie. Hi, Vanessa. Yes. Hello, guys.
April.
Hi, April. Fancy seeing you here. They're all saying hello to each other. I love it. Southern accents are gorgeous. Well, thank you. Thank you. I will doll it up for you sometime and really give you a Southern accent. And Cody says he doesn't have an accent, do I? Oh, he does. He does. We'll have to do a video together and see if I have an accent. Okay, we'll make a video sometime.
That'd be really cute. That'd be fun. You should.
Yeah. Well, and you guys don't really get to see him either, but like we're super opposite too, which is fun and adorable and interesting.
That's how my husband and I are. He is like not anti social media, but he could care less about ever posting. And he's like, I don't need to put my life out on there, but like he'll go on to support me.
Yes.
We always said if we would have met when we were younger, we would have never been together because we are opposites.
Yes.
Uh, but then there's times where he just wants to be on my stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, just don't push my buttons." And then he's like, "Guess what I'm gonna do?"
Yes, Cody is like my biggest supporter and I love it even though he hates technology. So,
Yeah,
I'm
so
just yeah, I'm like, I love it. I love it. You need to finalize your TBR for the readathon. I have too many options at the moment. Oh man, I know. I did my little graphic this morning and I learned already that I did it wrong, so that's cool. But that's fine. Because I'm wanting to read this new series that is actually hold on, let me show you because it's right here. Well, not that one. It's these. They're nursery crimes. It's literally called The Nursery Crimes. And I was like, oh, yay. And I put the other cover that I just dropped, so I'm not going to pick it up. I put that one on there, and someone was like, hey, do you know that that's the second in the series? And I was like, I do now. So I'll be reading this one instead. But man, trying to decide what to read, even though like my points technically I'm going to make sure that whenever I do them, it goes the same amount for each team. And then you guys do with the points what y'all want. And so really, if I get past reading the first three, which I'm going to read the first three books in the Thursday Murder Club, because each book works perfectly for each individual team. But after that, it's like, if I happen to be able to read enough to where everybody will get points, then I'll do that. Otherwise, I get to just read whatever I want. But still, it's like, no, all the options is hard. Don't give me options. I don't.
I have 7 books right now, and I cannot narrow it down. That's why I'm like, okay, I have like my top 2, and then I think the rest are just gonna be like mood read, what I
Yeah.
feel like doing after that, if I get that far.
Yeah. Well, Cody, he was like, hey, so how do I make like a TBR? All my stuff won't fit on your thing. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, I have like 14 books. And it's like, oh my goodness. So he doesn't actually physically read a lot, but he drives for 2 hours to his job and then 2 hours back from his job. And he usually does that anywhere from 3 to 4, sometimes 5 days a week. So he has a lot of time to listen. So he's like, I will be listening and I will be gaining my team all the points. So sleuths, you guys got a good one there. I didn't know he was actually going to participate until he like all of a sudden popped in a Discord. And I'm like, okay, are you really going to though? And he is. He's in it. He's in it,
That's
guys.
awesome.
He even bought a shirt. I'm like,
Aw.
I just love him so much. Hi, Sarah. I don't believe that you've been on here before. I have seen your name at other places, so I know who you are. Sounds creepy, but I do. I'm sorry. This was my fault. It was me. Or that was my fault. It was me. Oh, 17 books now. See? Okay. Ugh. That's why we can never do a competition like against each other. I would be so furious because like I can't just listen to audiobooks all day. But it's great for y'all's teams. It's great for y'all's teams. He's in it to win it, is what he says. Well, there we go. All right. Well, we're okay. This one does go with this. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Love supportive husbands. Go Cody. My husband is my behind the scenes tech help, which I greatly appreciate. Yes. Yes. He's not my tech help, but he is a huge supporter. So I do love that. I do love that. But after this comment, we're going to go ahead and get started with sprints. You're driving 9 hours on Sunday and 9 hours on Friday. So I've got some of mine on audios too. There you go. Going to be racking in those points. I love it because they count. They count.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we are going to man, hold on. My phone's too far away. It's 11:38. We're going to actually go ahead and just do like an hour, if that's okay, up until 12:30. That way I have enough time. I'm going to have to cook some lunch. I'll have enough time to cook some lunch and also possibly get some reading done. So we'll say to come back at the 30. So that's roughly an hour. And get all the reading or productivity stuff that you need to do done between now and then. Sound good to you guys?
Perfect.
All right. Then I will get us set up. I'll get the pretty ambiance going. It takes me a second. There we go. Let me get it playing, and then I'll get us out of the way. All right, we'll see you guys back here. My mic was still off. There are so many buttons that like you have to push, and I'm like, oh, I just need to make a checklist for myself. It gets crazy. So, Sam, did you get much reading done?
No.
No.
I went on social media and then I started looking up lupines, and like then I was like, oh my gosh, I can, because they are hardy, and most of them are anyways. And so then I went down that rabbit hole, and then I
Yeah.
decided I was hungry, so I ate a little bit. I did get 3 chapters in, but that's one of the nice things about Lightlark is the chapters are pretty short, which I
Yes.
love. No matter
Yes.
what book, I like short chapters.
Mhm. Yes,
So
because then you can be like, yeah, just one more chapter, and you know that you're going to finish sometime soon. Unlike there's one, oh, what was it called? I had just read it like 2 months ago, maybe. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on my channel because I don't know what to say about it. I still to this day don't know what I think about it, but it literally had no chapters, and the book was about as thick as Lightlark.
I
Like,
don't know how I feel
no
about that.
chapters. And I didn't know that going into there, and so I'm like, maybe there's just not like chapter titles. And then I'm reading, and I keep reading and keep reading, and like nothing happened. There was no chapters, and I'm like, where do you find a stopping point? So it was a weird book. I don't know if I'd read it.
That would be hard. I don't think I would like that.
Yeah, let me go. If any of you guys have you ever heard of the book? It was called I want to say The Shadow in the Glass. It's a Cinderella retelling, sort of. Like there were elements of it that I would say, okay, yeah, it was kind of Cinderella. But other than that, it was weird. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways.
Well, like, a lot of people will read, they say they like reading ebooks because you can just scroll and then you get through the book faster, but to me, I actually struggle. Like, I
Yeah.
want to physically see how far I am
Mhm.
in a book. So, it's nice when you have percentages, but I chapters and I need to actually, like, see on a graph or something, like, how
Mhm.
much I have left and how much I read.
Yes. I'm the same way. I prefer physical books. I do read ebooks if I have to, but I usually try not to, which sounds bad. But I did start The Peculiar Incident at on Shady Street. I always want to say at Shady Street, and I only got 13 pages in. So yeah, I didn't get much done with reading. I was doing my plants like I told you earlier, my fake plants or whatever. So I was getting all those out so that they could lay out in the sun and dry. So I was dealing with that and then did a little lunch. And so yeah, didn't get much done, but that's okay.
It felt like a short sprint. It really
It
did.
did. I was like, wow, we're already here, which is why I literally like I popped in for a second, was reading, and it's like, oh shoot, I forgot that I have to like finish something. So I had to pop off real fast because it's like I felt like we had all the time in the world when we started. It was so
Mhm.
fast. I feel like that's what happens with these sprints though, is they feel as if they actually like they just go by so much faster than if I was to actually just sit down and read for an hour.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the same amount of time, but it feels different. Well, let's see how everyone did. I'm trying to remember where I stopped. I think it was on Sarah. Oh, yes, because I was saying that I know I've seen your channel name, seen you on several things. You said, haha, no worries. We see friends in all the sprints and things. Came here from Sam's channel. That is wonderful. And hello, lady. I literally just messaged you, just so you know that. So go check your Instagram. And you love seeing daytime sprints, you're working, but listen to Dead Wrong by Vinette Chapman while I do some data entry work. I don't know what that book is. I don't know who Vinetta Chapman is either. No? Okay. It's not just me. Sometimes I feel like I've probably been under a rock because I don't know who someone is that I should know. But I'll get
I
there.
feel like I don't know any books ever. So when I do, I'm so excited, especially if I've read it, which that I feel like is even more rare, but
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And because I didn't read for such a long time. Why? I don't know. I just didn't. And so then once I finally read a book that really got me back into reading, I was like, wow, I need to catch up. I've missed so many years of reading. And yeah, most of the time I have no idea who people are talking about or what people are talking about either. So,
Yeah, my mid-20s, I didn't read at all. Between school and my job, there was just no way.
hmm yep, same, same. The ambiance is perfect, especially after all the flower conversation. I agree. It was funny. I asked Sam what kind of ambiance we should do, and she was like, "We need to do like I just love floral," and I'm like, "Oh, I can do that. I love the floral ones." So it's
It
perfect.
wasn't very specific or helpful, but I'm like, I don't maybe that'll give you some inspiration somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because on Tuesday night, we're reading Skyward with my book club for my Patreons, and so I was like, "Well, let's do like a space theme." Even though they're like it wasn't technically a Patreon sprint, I still thought that would still be kind of fun because I was reading Skyward, so it was just me being selfish is really what it came down to. So this was nice. I love the flowers.
I
I
do
was here for
I do too.
it. Hi, Jen. And you said the music is definitely relaxing. I'm currently working as well. I've held off reading the last couple of nights, so I'm looking forward to being able to dive into my TBR tomorrow. Oh my goodness. It has been really hard to not pick up the books that I have for the readathon because I really want to. And it's like they're just taunting me all month. So I've had to read other books that I'm interested in, but wasn't necessarily wanting to spend all of my time on, if that makes sense. But I did read, I'd pulled it aside. I don't remember who I had shown. So I did read The Chestnut Man. Have y'all heard of this book?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay, so this is one that I would recommend to anybody who loves like mysteries, thrillers, but it's not a cozy one. Just know that right off the bat, not cozy whatsoever.
That's up my alley.
Yeah. Okay. So it was very good, and you will want to read and listen to the audiobook. This is not one that I would recommend listening to the audiobook of because this is translated. And I believe they said that they're from like Denmark, I want to say. So the way that they refer to people is vastly different than how we do in America. So I would get really confused if I was just listening. Plus, the way that they say a name and the way that they spell a name is super different, right? Like they have those. This is going to show my ignorance with other languages. Like the letter where it's a J and an A connected, though, they have those. And I'm like, I don't know how you say that, but it's I guess just an A. I don't know. So, anyways, it was very good. I stayed up until 1 in the morning last night finishing it, mainly because my audiobook goes back today, so I needed to get it done. But my goodness, that didn't just like I'm like, I just want to read all the mysteries now. And luckily I just have one more day. One more day. So today is Peculiar Incident. I will finish that soon and then I'll start Skyward some more. Then tomorrow it's all about mysteries and I'm so ready. Jen says she had to miss the beginning, but just caught up a bit. Not sure where in the South y'all are, but feel you on soaking up last few minutes of spring in the evenings. Right now it says like 98 here. Yep. Yep. We were probably close to each other. I am in Oklahoma. So um, it's hot. It's hot here. You go outside and you're automatically sweating. It's pretty gross. You got a little writing done. That's good. You're so excited to be almost finished with this article. So she is a freelancer, in case you guys didn't know that, which I thought was awesome. I've heard of freelancers, never personally met one. So it was really cool. She says she loves it too. So I'm like, well, that's awesome. You did some sprint hopping. Oh yes, we both did. Leandra, who's also one of our leaders for the Mystery Mayhem, she is doing a sprint where they do a Meet the Booktuber, and so she's doing one over on her friend Brittany's channel. And I was like, oh well, they did this for me last week. I need to pop in real quick and say hi. And then my computer was like, there's so much happening. I'm gonna go real slow now. And so yeah, it's okay. But you fed the younger one some lunch and sent the older one off to the mines. Oh, fun. Fun. Mom said, I'm getting to where I prefer my Kindle. No one is more shocked than I am. It's true. She reads her Kindle all the time. And she has read, I don't know, Sam, if you know this, but I was talking about this on my last sprint. But my mom started reading Wheel of Time I think we figured out it was like March 19th, 13th, something like that. So somewhere in the teens. And she is already like halfway through the 13th book. And she's doing it
Wow.
all on her Kindle. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, nope,
That's
not happening here. No. And she's not doing tandem reading either. Like she's just reading, like
yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. But she can read pretty fast. And I don't know why I didn't get that gift, but
I don't have that gift. My husband has that gift, and it's not even
it's
funny.
not fair.
He is reading through the ACOTAR series,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
and
saw your video about that.
thankfully he's not a huge reader. Honestly, I don't even know how I convinced him to start reading at all.
Yeah.
But he decided, because I was like, "Yeah, I think you would actually really like this." And so I got him to read Fourth Wing and The Iron Flame, and he loved those. And I'm like, "Yeah, read ACOTAR." So he's kind of like jumping back and forth. Well, he's on A Court of Silver Flames, which is the last one in the series, and I have yet to start Throne of Glass, which I just got the hold on Libby, and I'm going to be reading for the readathon.
There you go. It's time.
Um, yeah, and so it was perfect timing, but he is flying through the last book, and I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting him to read at all now that he's back at work and he's working all the time, but he comes home and I'm like, "Oh, he'll maybe read a chapter." No, he gets like 50 pages every night, and I'm like, "How can you read so fast?"
Yeah, if I don't do tandem reading, it will take me some time. And I think it's also because I tend to get a little more distracted. So I'll be reading, and even if I'm really engrossed in something, I'm also thinking like, oh, I really need to try and get this done, or I need to make sure, that I had this cooked, or I need to make sure that I got this finished for Piper, or whatever it is. And so then it's just, I've read a chapter but didn't read the chapter. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, now, if I'm gonna try and do that, I have to like have everything done. Otherwise, I 100% have to listen to something while I'm also reading. That's the only way I can focus. And then,
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't until recently like tandem reading. I liked reading the book and then listening, and I felt like I could really make sense of everything.
yeah,
But then with different series and pronunciations, well,
yeah.
I started reading ACOTAR without um the audio, and then I found out I was like mispronouncing names,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
then
That's always
then that's
interesting.
like really hard for me. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, we're just gonna start tandem reading, and now I'm like, I don't know how I read without it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like hooked. And now if I can't find the audiobook, like it doesn't exist for a book, I'm like, do I want to read it? Do I
Right?
really want to read it that bad?
Will it
Which is
really be that
terrible.
good of a book if I don't have the audio? Yeah.
Right, right. Yes, which it would be, but sometimes, sometimes I
Mhm.
don't know. She read a physical books only. Oh, you read physical books only unless it's an art. Yeah, but I spend so much time on the computer for work already. Oh, that makes so much sense. Just not wanting to see your screen. And that's another thing. Like I do feel like I get more distracted if it's on a screen, but I also have the Kindle Fire, so it's closer to a tablet. And I just don't I just don't love that. And I maybe if it was like the what is it, the paper light, whatever it is, the other one,
Yeah, Paperwhite.
yeah, I might like it better.
So I have the Kindle I was in high school. I think it was 2010. And so like with the last couple of updates it stopped working completely. Like it won't even charge now.
Oh, man.
And so I've been really wanting to like get a Kindle, but I'm like, will I realistically use it?
Right.
Well, my husband was cleaning out one of my mom's husband's tenants' houses where they just like left a bunch of stuff, and he found a Kindle.
What?
So he gave it to me and he's like, it works and everything. So we did like a factory reset. The person didn't have any books on it. They only had games.
Oh
So I'm
my
like, well, they didn't
goodness.
use it to read. So it's a Kindle Fire.
Uh-huh. Do you like it?
It's a third generation.
Well, mine is old.
So
I don't remember how old it is.
I
It's old
can't
though.
get Libby on it, and I
Oh,
can't get
no.
Everin. It's
Yeah.
syncing all of my books because I still use the Kindle app on like my iPad and my phone and stuff, but I still
Yeah.
don't use it a ton because yeah, I get if I have other apps, I'll just doom scroll, I'll get distracted.
Oh, yeah.
But I have it. So now I can kind of use it and play off of like, hey, do I actually want to get a Kindle?
Mhm.
But I liked the Paperwhite on my old one because I like reading outside a lot and I really don't like the glare.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can just use my iPad if I really wanted to
Yeah.
read, one of my ebooks instead of
Mhm.
buying a Kindle. But this was free and I'm like, I have a
Yeah.
Kindle now. So
That's awesome. I wanna know if everybody watching, do you prefer physical or do you prefer Kindle? Or do you just prefer audiobook? Because some people, that's the only way that they will read. I have a friend and that is the only way she will read. So that could be a thing. But I'm always interested in that because I am such a physical snob, to be super honest.
Mhm.
So, Laura, you read 25 pages of Two Twisted Crowns. You have 47 pages left to be at 50%. Okay, and I'm stopping there for now. Hey, that's okay. It's about, I mean, it's already good, but it's about to get good. That was a very, very good duology. I really enjoyed it. You're making bookmarks for flea markets, so you couldn't read. You make flea markets for books, is what I was going to say. You make bookmarks for flea markets. That is awesome.
You gotta listen to audiobooks, that's what I do, because I also, like, in 3 weeks, I have a vendor event, and I just audiobooks while I work.
Yes, and if you need one, I've listened to one. I raved about it in one of my videos. It's called, The Library of Borrowed Hearts. That book was so stinking good. It was cute. The cover's gorgeous, which doesn't matter if you listen to audiobook, but it was so good. In the audiobook, they actually had the different narrator for each of the different parts, which made it so much easier to
I
follow.
love that.
Yes. Yes. Stephanie, hello. She says, Hi, Maddie, Sam, and all others. I was wondering for how much time this sprinting will continue. In Belgium, it's dinner time, so I can't stay for night. Wow, in Belgium.
That's
Um,
crazy.
that's a good question. I probably should have asked Sam how long she wanted to stay. But I feel like we're probably going to have do another hour-long sprint, just because it went so fast on the last one.
Yeah.
So I'll see if maybe I can get some reading done, and then we'll come back and we'll talk and just kind of see where we're at that point. But that'll probably be it for the day. So I want to say like another hour and a half ish, roughly. Roughly, if we
Yeah.
try and
I'm good for a couple hours. Once it hits 5 PM, EST, then my dogs get kinda cray-cray because it's
yeah,
dinner time, and then
yeah.
I just have to do chores and stuff, but
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
understandable. That is understandable. Well, and I have a sprint tonight for my Patreons that I'm going to be doing. So it's like I kind of want to have a little bit of a break. Otherwise, I am so brain dead. And I'm like, I know
I
we're just
get
talking, but I forget words all of a sudden. So we'll have a little break for that.
that.
So hopefully that answers your question. Kind of not. My mom said, Stephanie, Belgium sounds so exotic to someone from Arkansas. Yep. Yep. Same.
Fun fact, 10 years ago, I was in Belgium. Well, I was in Belgium, Holland, Germany, France this time of year. I did a study abroad there.
Woo, look at you, bougie. I love it.
No, no, no. Okay, you wanna know what it was for?
Yeah.
This is what everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you got to study in all those countries?" I'm like, "Yes, for dairy husbandry. I got to go visit
I remember
farms."
you talking about this in one of your events.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, "What? What
I
is
got to
that?"
go visit other farms in other countries. It was so much fun.
Did you love it?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I
That
love
sounds
cows, I
amazing.
love the dairy industry, I just haven't ever found jobs that work well with what, like, my goals are in life. Like, I loved
Yeah.
managing a dairy farm, but you had no life.
Oh, yeah.
I worked 12 days on and got 2 days off, and that was just really hard.
Yeah.
And then I worked in, like, the sales industry, which is just I don't know. I don't like pushing sales, but I loved what
Yeah.
I sold, but they were very expensive machineries and a lot of people couldn't afford them. So then I was like sad and I'm
Yeah.
such an artsy creative like person that sticking to, a job like that, it's not me, and my mental health wasn't great doing it, so now
Wow,
I'm a
yeah.
full-time crafter,
There you go. Hey,
doesn't
I
make
love it.
sense.
And you're wonderful at that too. You're so
Thanks.
good. I love all of your Star Wars stuff that you've been doing. Seriously, a huge nerd of Star Wars, so I'm like, again, living vicariously through you because we don't necessarily have all the space here for me to craft all I'd like.
I am, like, living for Star Wars right now, and it feels so weird because 'cause I'm like, obviously, it's been around for way before I was even born, and I'm just getting on, like, the
Yeah.
bandwagon now, but it's just
Exactly.
I don't know, I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it, and seeing, like, so many people that are in it and love it, I love it when people are obsessed with things, like, when they have, like, such passions, and I think that's why
Yeah.
I really got back into books is because we have the internet where people talk about how much they love books now, where
Mhm.
otherwise you don't really know what people are reading and why they like certain series and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I love it. I love it. I would have never ever guessed that was why you went there. So, fun trivia question. I liked that.
Random.
Oh, and Stephanie says for her, it's the other way around. So there we go. Arkansas sounds so exotic. Which Arkansas is gorgeous though. But and Donna, you used to be a freelancer. How did I not know this? Or maybe I did. No, I definitely didn't remember that. You probably told me. I just didn't remember. I'm sorry. But that's so fun. And then of course Amy is asking what kind of freelancing. If she doesn't answer soon, I'll get the answer for you, Amy. You had to switch to audio and Kindle when I became legally blind. That's right.
Mm,
Yes, I remember you talking about that, which makes so much sense. It really does. And praise the Lord, we live in a time when there is audiobook. When like I couldn't imagine being legally blind before any of this, where it's
mhm.
like you wouldn't be able to read. You just have to have someone read to you. Sam and Maddie, you two co-host well together. Well, thank you. I hope you do more together in the future. Oh, we will. We will. I'm sure. I'm sure. We both just like to talk to each other when we're stuck at home by ourselves. I think that's what it
I am a certified yapper. If you get me on any of my topics, I won't stop.
is. Oh, yeah, I love it. I love it. You use the Kindle app on your iPad tablet. Yeah, that's what I had to do for a while because I couldn't find my Kindle because I have a kid. So it was missing for months. And then I finally found it. So I did have to use it on my iPad, which actually ended up making my elbows hurt and I couldn't read it anymore because holding it was so heavy and having to hold it the whole
Mhm.
time. I was like, never mind. Never mind. And she's asking, Mom, what kind of Kindle do you use? And I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's one of the paper whites, but I don't remember. You prefer physical books. It's like, I'm sorry, it's slowly getting there. There we go. I would definitely prefer a physical book, but that is no longer an option for me. Yeah. Hey, at least there's the options though. I love that. You should have done audio. I didn't think of it since I mostly do audio on road trips. Yeah. Anytime I'm doing something that requires my hands and I have the ability to be able to listen to something, it's going to be an audiobook. I used to do music and podcasts and stuff, but now I'm just like, I only want to read audios. So, or listen to audio, should I say. I love it. Jan, you have a Kindle Paperwhite. You live outside Charleston, South Carolina, near the beach. Ooh, so it's nice for outside. I also
Mhm.
enjoy physical books when I can get them from the library. Yeah, so I try to not go to the library because if you guys watch any of my book hauls, I get way too many books. This last month, I literally got like 50 more books as if I needed more. So because of that, I'm like, I can't go to the library. And then the other day, Cody let me go with him to work and we took Piper with us and her and I went to the library up there and I did in fact rent 6 books. Like, when am I going to read them?
Wow.
I don't know, but I will. I think I'm a dreamer when it comes to books. I really do. You try to hop back or you'll try to hop back in later. Okay, see you soon. Thank you so much for being here, Stephanie. Seriously, it means so much. You're looking forward to Patreon sprints tonight? Yep. Sam, will you be having sprints again? Do you have one planned?
Not right now. I try to do them on Saturdays, like during the middle of the day, but I just Matt's my husband, his work schedule has been so chaotic
Mhm.
lately. I'm just trying to wait till that stabilizes a little bit more because most of the time he works on Saturday, then it's perfect. Cause I'm like, cool, I have no one to talk to. I'll hang out on sprints.
Yeah.
But he's been like, he has the whole weekend off because it's a holiday weekend this weekend. So I'm like, well, I rather hop on your stuff and, hop around.
Yeah.
So as of right now, no, but I'm hoping to start doing more lives and stuff. I'm really bad. Once my schedule gets messed up, it takes me like a good month to reset and then
Yeah.
to like actually plan ahead.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, and then Saturday, I literally just remembered that I have not done this yet, but I will be making a graphic and setting up a time for those in the readathon. I mean, anybody can join, of course, but it'll be specifically for those in the readathon to have a first sprint to kick off because I can't do it tomorrow night like I was originally planning. So, and I think you were saying, Sam, that you might try and pop in on there to help co-host a little bit whenever you can. So it's going to be
Yeah.
another one of those where when any of the leaders can pop in, they're more than welcome to. They may not stay the whole time, but that would be another time to also come and see Sam. So that'll be exciting. I need to do that. I'm going to put it on my list of things to do during this sprint is to get that set up. Otherwise, I'll forget. My mom uses an old Paperwhite. That's what I thought. It's super easy to read on. Yeah, I liked looking at that one. She says, thank you. Cody, if you hear clanging in the background, I'm fixing Piper and I lunch. Well, there you go. So now you guys know. And if you hear super loud screaming, she is currently in a rock phase. So everything is a guitar and you can only sing by screaming. So just know that. Okay, Christina loves to craft, but I love watching people craft too. Just found some crafting sprints that I'm so enjoying on Wednesday evenings. Ooh, I was literally just thinking about that yesterday. Like, I would love to just sit and watch somebody do some crocheting, like real time crochet, just watching as a live stream. I don't know why. That just sounds great because I don't really know how to crochet. So maybe it's another
I
living vicariously.
was gonna say, there you go, Laura. If Laura's still on, Laura made my
Oh my
dragon, my
goodness.
Darna.
What?
I
Laura,
can
you're so
crochet,
talented.
but I hate counting. And so,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
to do cute stuff like this, and I mean, most crocheting you have to count.
Yeah.
So I'm not like a big fan. I'd rather pay someone who is much more talented at it do
That
it.
is
But
so
yeah,
stinking
Laura
cute.
crochets all the time. There you go. You need to go live so Maddie can
Yes.
watch you.
Yes, and let me know, and I will absolutely share that because I would love to watch somebody crochet that. That would be so much fun. That's so cute. You wrote for a company called ArcBest, and I did pages for their UPAC blog. UPAC is a moving company, so I did city pages introducing people to their new cities. Okay, so when I first started reading that, I was reading Amy Marie, and I was thinking this was Amy talking to my friend Donna, and I was like, weird, my friend Donna works for them. Yeah, wow. I didn't have enough coffee today, clearly. And she's
So
asking, what about you? I love when you guys chit chat in here too. I love that. Samuel, she'll be looking forward to you having more lives. Yes, I got to join you on yours and I really enjoyed being able to be there with you. If you get them scheduled, I will get them on the spreadsheet. Awesome. Thank you so much. That I know I usually always do a Tuesday night at 7:30 because Piper is asleep. Well, Piper's off to bed by that point. So it's always Tuesday night, but these ones that I'm doing right now are just kind of random. I kind of like this middle of the day thing, and Sam seems to really like it too, and a lot of you guys do too. So we'll probably try and figure out a time when we can also do a middle day one because I know it's easier, especially whenever your husband's at work and my husband's also at work. So
mhm.
we don't feel like we're missing time with them. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and Maddie, we're going to the Ren Fair this weekend. That's very yes, we are. But we're going in the afternoon. So this will be like early morning sprint, and then we're going to a Renaissance fair.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, it's gonna be real hot, so you might not be that jealous, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Oh, and Laura says she'll teach us. Heck yes.
She's
I
really
would,
good at it. She used to do, like, short little tutorials on her
yeah.
Instagram, and I was like, "I need to get back into it."
Oh, see, and I just got to know Laura because she started or she came into the readathon, and that's kind of how I started to get to know her. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know there was this much talent here, but this is wonderful. And so I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on a lot of other people's channels, like really diving in just yet. But once we're done with this readathon and I'm done having to do lots of behind the scenes stuff and I was setting up Patreon and all that jazz, like, girl, I'm gonna be watching all your videos. I'm so excited. Okay, and Darna, is this a reference that I'm not
Yeah.
getting?
Yeah, this is from Fourth Wing. She's, the golden
Oh,
dragon
yes.
in Fourth
I
Wing.
did know that. Okay, so you're gonna hate me, but I don't really like Fourth Wing. But
I
I do
hey,
love
I won't
Andarna.
ever hate I won't ever hate on anyone, for things they like or dislike. If people bash things that they don't like, then I'm like,
Oh, yeah, no,
no."
I understand. It's one of those I understand why people love it, but it's just not I don't know. I don't know why I didn't really like it. But I did love Andarna, and I kept being like, "Can we just have a book that's just her?" And
Of
I
her.
would like a Toothless, like, oh, I would love
Yes.
it. Love it.
And the live action they're coming out with now for How to Train Your Dragon and the new, park that they're opening up that
Wait, I
it's
didn't know
gonna be.
anything about these.
Oh
What?
my gosh. So apparently they're doing a live action How to Train Your Dragon, and I have no idea when or the details, but then also they're opening a 3rd Universal Park in Orlando, and they're going to have Isles of Berk, so it's gonna be How to
What?
Train Your Dragon. I think it opens next
Um,
year,
oh my
and
goodness.
now that I'm an active well, not active, but now that I feel like I'm somewhat active park goer, I literally
Yeah,
never went to a park until I was, like, 28, and now this is what we do, like, when it's cold
yeah.
in Michigan, we fly to Florida and we go to all the parks.
There you go.
Um, so I'm so excited because I love How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm glad that, like,
Yes,
it's still relevant even though it came out a while
yes,
ago.
yes. Did you know that there are books? I had no idea.
No?
Yeah,
There
I
are
just
books?
learned this yesterday. I saw them at thrift stores and I didn't buy them because 'cause I'm stupid, but, like, yeah, there were books and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure that those would be amazing."
Are they, like, middle grade? I'm guessing they
I
would be.
think so. This store doesn't like, they kind of separate things, but not super, super well, but I wanna say that it was probably middle grade. Oh, and then Christina says that she crochets too. All this talent, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I wish I could just, like there's counting, I'm just not I
Mhm.
get so distracted on and then, like, I couldn't listen to audiobooks, and then I would just be an angry
Right.
human.
Yep. Yep. So I'd have a weird project that's not finished correctly, and I have no idea what's going on in the book. So what
Mhm.
did I do with my time? Yeah.
Exactly.
And Amy says that she writes blog articles as well. That's so awesome. But you don't do. I'm assuming that that is a crochet technique that I do not know even how to say or what it is. Is that
Yeah,
kind of like that sort of
that
thing, like a
yeah,
doll?
that refers to, like I could be wrong, but that refers to, like, a lot of, like, the animals' characteristics. It's
Oh, okay.
more of, like oh, Laura's gonna school me on this. She's But the way I take it is it's more of, like, the stuffed animal type stuff.
Okay, not like your blankets, your
Yeah,
towels, your washcloth, stuff like that. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, if we are wrong, let us know
Yeah.
because I have no idea. Sounds good to me. And you're enjoying the middle of the day as well. Good, good. And I know Amy says she loves middle of the day. It really helps with my focus for work too, or reading on my lunch break. Yep, that's wonderful. I'm really enjoying the middle of the day one too. I am very blessed that Cody's here with Piper because it could be a whole other story. She came on the boat and I'm surprised y'all didn't hear her because she was like jump, jump, jump. And she's like, I'm here. I'm like, oh no. We're making you blush. Oh, well, if you didn't do such good work, we wouldn't have this problem, but you are very good at it. And my mom, she'd be down with learning. Yep, we would love that. What subjects do you cover, Amy? Even if you don't like Fourth Wing or Iron Flame, it's Andarna. Yes. And agreed, agreed. Once she said that, I was like, yes, I loved her. I was absolutely enamored with her. She was just the sweetest little thing. Oh, hi, Hannah. You had a half day today, so I'm getting some extra reading time finishing just for the summer.
Ah,
Yes.
jealous.
Her and Heather are the only reason I bought that stinking book. Not that it's bad, like it's a good thing, but Do you have it too? Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I read Part of Your World when it came
Yeah.
out because I got it from Book of the Month, and I was like, "Who is this person? This
Was that her
author is
debut
amazing."
novel?
What's that?
Was that her debut novel?
No.
Oh, okay. Just like the
No,
one that
no.
really got her kicked off a bit?
Yeah, so I had just happened to be on Book of the Month, and I'm like, "Oh, this one sounds cute because
Mhm.
he's a country boy," and I'm country
Yeah.
background, and I was like, "I'll read it," and I was like, "This is so good." And
Yeah,
then
that's
she
really
came out with the
cool.
second one, Yours Truly, which has anxiety representation, which I suffer from severe anxiety, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And so when she came
Awesome.
out with this one,
Yeah.
I was just dead, and now everyone's reading it and telling me how good it is, but I am
Yeah.
a, like, season mood reader where I
Yeah.
want to wait for the summer, so
Yeah.
June, I will be reading this.
Yeah. Well, see, I have to actually read the other 2 because I was looking like, do you have to? And even Abby was like, Abby is the author. She was like, no, you do need to try to read these in order. And it's like, dang it. Okay. Because it would give away things from other books, whereas that doesn't necessarily follow those same characters, like side characters from the other stories, if I'm not mistaken. But it does give
Mhm.
away little aspects of the other books. And so I'm like, I'll just read them in order. But now I have to actually get them. And it's a
Yeah,
lot.
that was my biggest thing is because I got the first 2 from Book of the Month is when Just for Summer came out, I wanted the paperback because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, it's a summer novel. I want
Yeah,
paperback, take it to the beach," that kinda
right.
stuff. But then she's like, "Oh, it's part of, like, a series." And I'm like, "Well, no, now I'm gonna get the Book of the Month one, and it's gonna be a
That was the
hardcover."
all match. I get it. I get it. I'm the same way. And I'm struggling because I have a couple of series where, like actually with Light Lark, I can only find the hardcover for Nightbane. And I'm like, I just want the paper cover because I originally got the paper cover of Light Lark. And I don't want to have to rebuy my Light Lark so that way they match my Nightbane. So I don't know. We'll see what I do. I'll probably just cave in and get the hardcover. And my mom, yep, she's a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. So is my dad. We love How to Train Your Dragon in this household. It's such a cute show. Hello, Jana. You just got here. You're reading Skyward today. Well, that is wonderful. Are you enjoying it at all? I am not super far into it, but I really like it already. Have you ever read Skyward, by the way, Sam?
Mm-mm.
No. Have you read Brandon Sanderson?
No, but he's all over my TikTok
Yeah.
right now.
Well, I won't be mad at you if you don't be mad at me for the Fourth Wing thing. So you would probably really enjoy, which Tress of the Emerald Sea is my absolute favorite book of all time, and that was written by him. But you would probably enjoy that because you do like fantasy and you kind of like whimsical stuff too. So
Mhm.
you'd probably love it. Just started with writing in the pet industry, but I've expanded into home topics like insurance. See, and that to me does not sound like fun, but I'm so happy that you love what you're doing. Maddie, you use my library books to read a first chapter and see if I would like to purchase the books. Well, that is brilliant. Never
Yeah,
crossed my
that's
mind
really
to do it
smart.
like that. Like, wow. But don't tell me that because now I'm going to buy even more books. It's going to be an issue. Okay, crochet choice. So you were right. Yeah, good job. And Laura says you're correct, Sam. And then Grandma also agrees. Grandma Susan agrees that that is very smart, Jana. Like I said, it never crossed my mind. Just like tandem reading, didn't think about it until like 3 months ago. I'm life changing at that point. Yes, you do see some characters that were in her previous books. Okay, so yeah, I won't read it yet, but I did impulse buy it specifically because I just kept hearing Hannah and Heather in my head talking about how much they love this book, and then like seeing Heather be like, it was like her 6-star read, I believe she said, and so I'm like, well, it's got to be good.
I know, I'm getting scared though, because 'cause I'm like, I don't want people to overhype it,
Oh, I
like
know. Yeah.
but typically I tell myself, like, when I hear a lot of hype and I'm like, "You know nothing about this book or what anyone thinks of it."
Right.
But also for the readathon, I'm trying to read this is one of Abby Jimenez's, like, backlist books, The
Okay.
Friend Zone, so this is a
Yeah.
part of, like, a different series.
Yes.
I've been trying to read it for, like, a couple months if you watch any of my TBR videos, but this is one that I was like, "Blue cover, it's gonna work for
Yeah.
the lassies," so
Yeah.
I am hoping to break up between, like, fantasy and thrillers and stuff,
Yeah.
like, I was like, we'll throw in a romance, especially because it's Abby. I love
Yes.
Abby Jimenez.
Well,
So, and I've heard this is really good, but emotional. But that's
yeah,
why I like her. I feel like her romances aren't just like surface level, they're deep.
right.
And I
Right.
love that.
Yes. I love it. You'll have to let me know what you think about that book, because I was looking at all of those books once I started learning more about Abby Jimenez. It's like, well, I need to know what her backstory or what her backlog is and all that stuff. And so, yeah, I'm interested in those. I'm interested in those. Not that I need more books to read. Sorry, Cody's coming in. Yes? No? Okay. Well, okay, I think we're at the bottom of the comments now. We just chatted away, which is great. Which is great. I love it. I love it. You're so easy to co-host with. I love it. So,
Thanks.
we are going to crawl back into our holes and do some reading or productivity things, whatever you need to do. Let me see. So we were going to come back. Let's maybe go ahead and come back. Like for me, it's 2:00. So that would be, it's less than an hour. It's about 50 minutes. It's 49 minutes exactly, actually. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll come back at the zeros, top of the hour for wherever you're at. That work for you, Sam? Okay,
Perfect.
awesome. Then I will get everything set up. Give me a second to mute and change and do all that jazz. And we will be back soon. Hello. Well, that was a little bit more of a productive reading sprint for me. How was it for you?
It went by really fast again, but I did a load of laundry, and I went to go check on my cat, and I, like, was loving up on her, and I got a little reading done, so, I mean, it was
Yeah,
productive, but it went by fast.
no, every single time. It never fails. I was happy I got a little bit of reading done, but now with Piper here, it just it wasn't working. So Cody finally decided that he wanted to take a nap, so he took her down to her room. So, like, the way our boat is set up, I never did it in the video when we did the house tour, but, like, below our living room, you have to, like, go into this cuddy, and it's, like, this big old room that you can't fully stand up in, which is fine because she's little. But anyway, so they're down there, and he's laying on her bed taking a nap, and she's playing. So, because she, like, literally was just sitting over here and would just all of a sudden just randomly just be like, "Ah," really loud. And I'm like, "That's not gonna work."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but I got some reading done, and that's good. It's a like, again, I'm reading The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street, and it's cute so far. I mean, like, it starts right away, and that's something that I think middle grade books do really good at, is they don't just drag that intro out for a really long time, like, they just get into it, and I like
Mhm.
that. How are you still liking Light Lark?
Uh, I really wasn't expecting to like it as much as I am.
Yeah.
I don't I've heard such conflicting things about
Mhm.
it that I'm like, "Okay, we'll just go into it and see how it is," and I
Right.
wasn't expecting to like the aesthetics because I was basing it off of the cover, and I was like,
Yeah,
we'll see," and now I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is so gorgeous," and, like,
I know.
so I'm loving it, and I've been
Mhm.
taking, like I've been annotating, which I'm surprised, like, normally I'm highlighting and tabbing a lot, but I feel like it's a lot more world building.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking of, like, a lot of questions that are very specific for the discussion, so I've been jotting those down because I always tell myself I'll remember, and then the time comes and I'm like, I don't remember anything."
Yeah, no idea,
So
no idea. Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have done that. I was thinking that after I finished it, it was like, "Man, I know what I'd like to talk about, but I couldn't tell you where it's at, and I couldn't, like, I don't remember any of the specifications for whenever we're trying to discuss it or anything, but it was a good book. I really enjoyed it.
I'm so bad at, like, as soon as I read a book, once I'm to the next one, it's like, I don't remember what that last book was about.
Oh, yeah.
And, I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts
Uh-huh.
a couple months ago, and everyone is still talking about it on, TikTok,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I honestly remember nothing from
Yeah.
it."
Oh,
No
man. Wow.
um, I remember, like, I kinda liked it,
Yeah.
but that is just something, like, my brain is like, "Well, this space doesn't need to be used
Yes.
anymore, we're moving on." So,
Yes.
especially since we're doing, the readathon before the Light Lark discussion, I was like, "I need to take notes or I will remember
You
nothing."
Yeah. Yeah, and that would be pretty bad.
Yeah, when I'm leading the discussion, yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I I had a couple this month that I was like, "Oh, that was a really good read. I will not remember it in a year." Like, it just I mean, I'm thinking back now, like, there was one this that have you ever heard of Echo North? It's
Mm-mm.
by something Meyer, and it was good. It was really good. It was so a lot of people were saying that it was like a Red Riding Hood retelling, but I thought it was way more like a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
Mm.
Um, and it was interesting. It was quirky, had to do with books and like you could go inside the books and stuff like that. But other than that, I literally just read it last month and I'm like, I don't remember anything else about it. Like it was good, but I just won't remember. So,
Well, that's
oh
one of the
well.
things I'm, like, mad at myself because I did not do a good job at normally, I would put my ratings on my Instagram so that I can go back and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's what I put," and I'm
Mhm,
bad with Goodreads too, I don't know why, I just, like, don't think about it, and then I go
mhm.
back to fill it in, and I'm like, "I don't
Yeah,
remember."
yeah.
So
Well, I've had to teach myself to not finish a book and then immediately go and rate it, which is annoying because in order to say that you finished the book, like you have to usually rate it. But I will try and just like jot down somewhere else that I finished it on this date or whatever, and then go put it in later because I have realized that if I don't do something like that, or if I do go ahead and put in the star rating, I'm like, I thought about this for about a week and I realized that's not at all what I would have rated it. Like
mhm.
let it sit down and settle for a while. Because if I literally forget everything about the book within a week, well, then obviously, even as good as it wasn't as great as it could have been. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, yeah. Well, anyways, I'm so happy that you are enjoying it and that you're annotating it. That's very good of you. You were productive. And we have Bex who came in. Hello, Bex. Sam, if you don't know this, Bex, she was with me on Tuesday and she is working on a project where she's trying to get a booktuber from all 50 states. And I think she's only missing like 4 or 5 states now, which is insane.
Wow.
Yes. Um, and Bex, if you're still looking for them, comment down below which ones you're looking for, and we'll see if we can't help you. Because I cannot remember. I can't remember. Mom saying hello to Bex. And yep, did you
Yeah.
get all your states yet? And she said, Bex said that she hasn't yet. But we're trying. We're trying to help. You read 35 pages that sprint. That's good. You're getting there. And I think you said you only need like 45 pages to get to the 50% mark. So you're almost there. Man, that's wonderful. You finished your book. You were reading on sprints the other night, and it was a 6-star book. That is awesome. Wow. I
I
can
love
honestly
that.
say I do not remember what you were reading, but I think it's because I had never heard of it before. So let us know what that was. And I am so happy that you found a 6-star book. That's always like glorious. So, The Book Thief, I just read that last week, sobbed like a baby. 6-star beyond like 7-star, 8-star, however many stars you could possibly give this book and then double that because oh my goodness. I mean, I love Trust of the Emerald Sea, but that one was really close up there to my like all-time favorite book, which is bonkers for me to say. I never in my life thought that I would say that about a historical fiction because I do love historical fiction. But I don't know. To me, I'm like, it's I like weird and quirky, and most historical fictions aren't. But man, Have you ever read The Book Thief?
No, but
No.
you talking about it, I
Good.
was like, "This
Oh,
sounds good."
it's so good. It is so good. And someone else commented and they were like, Yeah, when I read this, like you realize you're listening from the perspective of death. So you know, like death is happening, right? And then you keep thinking, like, oh man, we're going to get out of this unscathed. And then you realize, like, the whole way you're just being like drug over like these sharp coals that are, or like these hot coals that are just like burning you the whole time. And you're like, but it's so good. It was such a good read. It was such a good read. I will talk about that book till the day I die. That's not one off. My mom keeps pushing you to listen to Trust the Emerald Sea because you should. I'm just
I
saying.
added it to my wish list.
Good. Yes, it is. Oh, it is so good. It is so good. And Dad, you like Princess Bride. I know that. That's one of your favorite movies. So you will love Trust of the Emerald Sea.
Okay,
So,
I literally had this conversation with my husband the other night. So I've never actually watched The Princess Bride. For whatever
okay.
reason, it just, like I never heard about it until I was older, and I was like, "I
Yeah.
feel like I would like it," and my husband's like, "My sisters would watch it nonstop."
Hmm.
And so we watched one of my comfort movies the other night, which is Ella Enchanted, and he's like, "Oh,
I
this is
love
kind of
that
like the Princess."
movie.
He's like, "This is kind of like the Princess Bride-ish."
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, "Yeah, see, I think I would like that."
Yes, you would. So I was actually just telling Cody, I was like, man, I really feel like we need to do like a movie night because it needs to be like a movie that correlates with the book of somehow. And actually, I was like, of course, I want to do Princess Bride because it's my favorite movie and it's very similar to my favorite book. So we might have to figure out how to do one of those, and then you can finally watch Princess Bride because
Yes.
it's so good. It's just quirky, funny. It's simple. I love it. I love it. Carly, you turned on an audiobook. Look at you. Listen to The Last Bookshop in London. I own that book and I'm interested in it. So you have to let me know if it's worth keeping because I haven't read it. Most of the books I own, I have not read. That's not good, but it's true. You chatted and sprinted, hopped a bit, surprising not at all, and trying to get ready for the day. Get ready for the day. So wait, what time is it there? Because to me, I'm
It's
like,
3.
yeah, I'm like, we're gonna slowly start dwindling down for the day. You made progress on your book, should finish both today. Well, good, Susan. That's so exciting. I am always impressed when people can read multiple books and can finish them close to each other because usually I end up being like, well, I'm going to actually finish this book. And then 3 days later, I'll end up finishing the other one I had also started. I just can't go back and forth very easily. I used to, but not anymore. You're still looking for Delaware, Maine, Montana, Nebraska. You contacted someone, still waiting to hear back. New Hampshire and Vermont. Okay, so six, right? No, seven. Six. I can count. Six. Yeah. Man, that is extremely close.
Mhm. I don't
I
know anybody in those states, though.
don't either, but I have someone I'm thinking of to reach out to see if she can think of somebody or can put the word out there because you're so close. I feel like we can make this happen. And she's trying to get this all done before July 4th. So, like, we're
Oh, wow.
getting close to the wire. You finished your article and read a couple chapters of All Is Not Forgotten by Wendy Walker. It's a really interesting thriller. Oh, I really like thrillers right now. And I think it's because of the Chestnut Man. Like it did me in because that thing was it was so thrillerish instead of mystery. And I'm so used to like the cozy mysteries and, funny things and stuff like that. So this one where I'm literally like, I'm over here like yelling and Cody's laying right beside me trying to sleep but I'm like I'm so sorry but like this is happening and like I'm like yelling at the characters because I'm like the horror movies where you're like don't go in there alone and they're like
Mhm.
I'm gonna go in there alone. Yeah, it's that sort of stuff. I was telling them like stop doing this, don't be an idiot, and they were being idiots and so they got themselves killed. I told them but they didn't listen.
Yeah, I love thrillers, and I think it's because, like, I like horror, but I don't like gore,
Yes.
and, like, in movies, they're normally really gory, which then I can handle more horror in books, but I like the mystery and, like, the horror in, like, a thriller. Like, it's, like,
Yes.
the best of both worlds for me.
Yes. Yes. I agreed. Agreed. Yeah, I do have a weird obsession with zombies. So that's like the only gore that I can handle. But if it's something that can happen in like reality, not a fan. Not a fan. Because then it's just like going to unlock a new fear in me. So it's like, let's not do that, which is crazy that I love mysteries and stuff like that. But if it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Since we're on this, I'm going to answer what Susan just asked. She said, what is the difference between a thriller and a mystery? So those usually will overlap, but sometimes you can have like what we call cozy mystery, which is one where you're not stressed the whole time. You're just interested. You just want to know who it is. There's usually like baked goods involved, let's be honest, or books or something along those lines involved. And then the thriller is going to be one that literally causes a some sort of emotion reaction with you while you're reading it. Would you say the same thing, Sam? Like when you're reading a thriller, is it usually like my heart's pounding a little bit more, my pace is going?
Yeah, it's like I always think of it kind of like a suspenseful, like, dramatic movie where,
Mhm.
like, tensions are just high the whole time when I think
Yeah.
of, like, thriller in books.
Yes. And I don't think that I could be wrong with this, but I don't believe that every thriller has a mystery plot to it. It and now I can't think of any because I am just now starting to really get into thrillers more and they do tend to be on the mystery side. But if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't always have to have some sort of murder, which usually mystery obviously goes hand in hand with murder. But I can't think of one off the top of my head that's not like that. But someone was telling me that they don't like mysteries, but they do like thrillers. And so I was like, maybe there's not always a mystery involved. I don't know.
I found out because had a friend who was doing cozy mysteries that cozy mysteries aren't my favorite. Like, I enjoy them, but they're normally around, like, 3 stars for me. They're not anything, like, super high, but
Yeah.
the ones that they were picking, a lot of people were also rating low. So I don't know if it was just, like, happened to be, it's so hard to know
Excellent.
ahead of time what people are gonna like in the
Right.
books. So, I don't know, but I love thrillers,
Yeah.
and I know for a fact because I that's what I mostly listen to and I read a lot of is thrillers versus cozy mystery, and to me, almost all yeah, I can't think of a thriller that doesn't have some kind of, like, murder mystery to it.
Yeah.
Um, or like a missing person, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So but I could
Well,
see where you might have a thriller that's just like suspense without a murder,
yeah.
you know?
I was gonna say I feel like here okay, actually here is a good example for you. If you've ever read any of Frida McFadden's books. So The Housemaid, that
Yes.
would be a thriller because there technically isn't murder. Like without giving anything away, there's not murder. And so the book doesn't, it's not like that's not the premise of the whole book. The whole
Mhm.
premise is like, what the heck is happening, which is a very good book, just so y'all know. But then she also did The Coworker, and that one, man, I literally just read this like 2 months ago and I'm struggling. Um, has a missing person. So it does kind of go with that, but it's not a murder. Um, and then the other one was it followed a serial killer, so that one did have murder. But yeah, but yeah, so that would be one where it's like it's just strange things happening, not necessarily like ghostly things, but just like suspenseful stuff. That version of a mystery, I guess it could be.
Yeah, it's almost like a drama sometimes too, like
Yeah.
dramatic movies. It's
Yes.
just yeah, it's intense, but it's not always murder mystery trying to solve it.
Yes. Yes. And then you could go, but then thriller can seep into horror, which is when you have
Mhm.
things that are like meant to actually scare you, not just get your pulse up, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. So hopefully that answered it. Let us know, Susan. Unless you have more questions, we can try and butcher that answer too together. But we got there. Jana really enjoyed the book Thief. I read it many years ago and still remember it. I am on chapter 16 of Skyward and I'm really enjoying the book. That's awesome. Yep. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Book Thief is so good. My dad says, "You've never watched Princess Bride? You're dead to me." Okay, well.
Okay, I came from a very small town. We did and, like, even though the internet came out, I did not get the internet until I was, like, a sophomore or junior in high school,
Oh,
and my
wow.
brother was a gamer, so he was on it all the time, and I'm like, "Whatever." I
Gotcha.
was an outdoorsy girl,
Yeah.
so if it like, we didn't have cable TV, like, that's how I felt like I was left out of so many of my friends because they got, like, Gilmore Girls, Grey's Anatomy, like, all that stuff, like, we didn't really it sounds like we we were well off, we just didn't have these things that
Yep.
people it
That we
sounds
now
like, "Oh,
consider
I
as,
lived
like,
in a
normal.
what's that?
I said, "The things that we now consider normal."
Yeah, I lived in a very rural area, and if it didn't hit our bubble, because my husband grew up an hour and a half away, and he was like, "What do you mean you guys didn't do that?" I'm like, "It didn't make the way up by us in our small little town."
Like, we're learning about milk out here. We're not sitting here watching TV. We're
But
not
for rea
on the internet.
my high school was in a cornfield.
Oh my goodness. Sam, everything that you say it just gets more fascinating to me. I love that.
That's my like, I have so many of my friends are like, "Oh, why don't you just, like, go to Barnes& and Noble?" I'm like, "It's like a 40-minute drive
Right.
to the
Like, for
closest
you to be
bookstore for
invested.
me."
That's
You
awesome.
like, it was 30 minutes to a Walmart growing up. I lived in
Oh,
the
wow.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah, we live about 30 minutes from a bigger city, but the city that we live in, it does have a Walmart, so we do have at least that, and it's only like 10 minutes down the road. Um, but I mean, we do have internet. We're on a boat and we do have internet. So, what a time to be alive. Okay, and Christina says that it is 3 p.m., but she's just moving really slowly.
That's okay.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm tempted to go across the border to Delaware and just wrap that state myself. I feel like Delaware would be kind of hard, and that's just because it's not a state I think about. If we find someone from Delaware, don't tell them I said that because that'd be rude. Just dropped in. I'm at work, but wanted to hit the like button and say hello. Hi, Sonia. So excited to start the murder. Oh my goodness, mystery and mayhem readathon with you tomorrow. She was like, "Wait, did I just miss 12 hours? Did you see that conversation in Discord?" Because I
Not yet.
phrase things weird because I overthink it. So then I phrase it very strange. And I was like, "Yeah, it's going to start Thursday at midnight." And she was like, "Wait, Thursday, like 12 hours ago, Thursday?" And I was like, "No, no, no, like tonight, Thursday." And she's like, I was like, "Oh no, I lost 12 hours." It's Chestnut Man about a serial killer. Yes. Yes.
Yep,
It
I'm adding that.
Oh, it is very good. I will say for those, like, I am someone I don't tend to love things with lots of cursing and lots of like sexual content. And this didn't necessarily, I don't know how to explain this. It did not have sexual content, but it was fascinating that it would go from different people's perspectives throughout the entire book. Like it would just like there'd be this random person, you'd be in their perspective, but it worked and it like flowed seamlessly. But it was like, wow, we were all very interested in in inappropriate things, basically. Like, I don't know. It was interesting. It was weird, but at the same time, like the story was so good that I'm like, we will see past this because it was very, very good. I can say I was real proud of myself because I figured it out. And Cody was over there, like I told him, and he was like, "You'll just have to wait and see." And I was like, "I'm right. I know I'm right." And he was like, "I'm a little mad that you were right." Whenever I finished, but it was so good. It was so good. Okay, and Beck says she thinks the thriller has darker tones, whereas the mystery is more lighthearted. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Mhm.
Okay, and that did seem to answer it for Miss Susan.
Good. We didn't confuse her more.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, eventually we might need to do a video like this, but I'm like, I don't know. If we do that, I'm going to make Amy Marie be a part of that because she would be able to describe that way better because she
Mhm.
is our thriller mystery queen. And yes, hello, Sonia, again. thanks you both for the sprints. Thank you all for the fellowship. Anytime. Anytime. I am really enjoying this. The middle of the day has been wonderful. It's been a lot of fun. A thriller is where see, Amy Marie,
Oh.
where the main character is actively in danger for a large part of the book. It could be psychological or physical. That's my understanding. Yeah, I would agree too, because on the mystery side, you're not usually following the person, obviously, who is either committing the crime or is the one who was murdered, clearly. So I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, thrillers tend to be more in the moment, and mysteries are trying to piece together something that happened already. That's a really good way of explaining it too. I think when you add both of those, and then Amy also said this, which will clarify it too. A mystery, the character is usually trying to find clues and solve something, but they're not usually in serious danger the whole time. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I like it. Can someone recommend thriller authors without profanity or open door romance? Excuse me. Amy Marie, you just did you've done several videos that are recommendations / coming out books that are coming out soon. But you just did one, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, like last week or like this week. It was very, very close to now, where you did talk about thrillers. And I cannot remember what they are. But there has I'm trying to think. I read the reappearance of Rachel Price, which is, if you like thrillers and stuff, put that one on your list. So good. And I'm trying to remember. It did have some profanity. Yeah, it wasn't like prevalent, but it did. I don't really read thrillers, so I couldn't tell you, but
I mean, yeah, that's where that's when, okay, so like profanity, even like spice, profanity, uh just all of that stuff like doesn't bother me, so I
yeah,
don't think about it when it
right.
happens. So then when it goes to like recommending, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't think about
Like,
that.
I never even paid attention. So
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
So, but I do like Riley Sager. He's just a really good thriller author,
What was the
and I feel
name?
like his stuff isn't
Is that the one with like the house across the lake or something like that? That's
mhm.
okay. That's the
And
same guy.
which else? Hang on, I know I have some right here. Oh, but maybe I moved them. Like Home Before Dark. I loved that one. And I just read The Only One Left by him too.
Yeah.
Um, to me, those are all really good, like thrillers, and I feel like they're not like Frida McFadden, who some of her stuff I'm like, I could understand why people DNF this and aren't
Yeah.
a big fan. I
Yeah.
feel like Riley Sager's stuff is a little bit lighter, but
Yeah.
it really depends on the book,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
too.
see, and like my favorite thriller, which some people say that it's a mystery, but to me it's a thriller, is the Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, because to me it's like, I mean, there's death happening, but it's not like everyone is in danger.
Mhm.
And so I was way more stressed in that book than if it was just one of her other mysteries, following Hercule Poirot or Miss Marple or something like that. So I would say that was a thriller, and that's all. Like, Agatha Christie always writes clean, so that's a great. If you haven't read that one, that's a good one.
Now that I'm thinking of it, Sally Hepworth, because Keisha really likes her, so I'm like, if Keisha likes her, then that
Yeah, it
means
must be
it'll be
good.
a little bit more closed door, which I do have the soulmate on my team trying to possibly get, for the readathon. I've read a
Yeah.
couple of Sally Hepworth's too. I feel like I've listened to more, and when I listen to thrillers too, then it's just like add to my
Oh yeah.
dozens and dozens of books I've listened to.
Right. Right. Well, and there's a lady, Jamie Jo Wright. She is a Christian author, but she writes like, I'm not 100% sure what it is, to be honest, but they always look very creepy. And so it could be a thriller. It might be mystery. If anybody knows, honestly, the person who would know is Krista from Books and Jams. And she does talk about her some as well. So that might be one to look into. And then Beck says, check out Screams You Hear by James Morris. So there you go. I've never heard of that one, but
Mm-mm.
that might be one for you. And Susan says, thank you, and put it on want to read. Yep. There's a series based on the book The Chestnut Man. I believe it's Swedish or something, but it's dubbed and has subtitles. It's on my watch list. Yes, it is on Netflix. It was written, and I'm fairly certain, like I said, it was Denmark. So whatever they speak there, it was then translated to English. So I didn't even think about the fact that the series is probably from the original language. Um,
That's
I
cool
mean,
though.
I know. I'm like, I'm interested, but do they have the same regulations as us, or are we going to see some really messed up crime scenes? Like I don't want to see them. I can envision them just fine. I don't want to have to see it. So I'd have to check into like the ratings and stuff on that, which sounds
Mhm.
so dumb, but it's true. Yeah, and I wasn't as thrilled with And Then There Were None might not have been in the right frame of mind for. I know I was so disheartened. I told my mom, like I stayed up late. I read this book all in one sitting because I loved it so much. And I was like, Mom, you have to read it. You'll love it. And then she was like, eh. And I was like, what? What? This is such a good book. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I liked books like that where I kind of knew what was going to happen. Have you ever read that one?
Mm-mm.
Okay. We're just going to make you read that and watch Princess Bride. Okay, right after, cuz then it'll be a good little pick me up. Oh my goodness. Those are two of my favorite things is And Then There Were None, and also, which I believe they made that into either a movie or a TV series. I remember Amy talking about it on something, probably another Sprint. So if you don't want to read the book, I think you can watch it, which is probably just as good.
I typically like reading the book and then watching the series, but now I
Yeah.
feel like I'm so far behind on series that I'm supposed to watch now that I've read. I'm trying to think. I like just blanked because I was like, what was I guess it was like more of a suspense than maybe it was like a thriller. I am blanking on it now. I can picture like the whole show without like the trailer of it.
Yeah.
Uh, it was on Apple TV. No, see, and then I had All the Light We Cannot See. I have to still watch that. I
Yeah.
don't watch a lot of TV. That's why when I got in the Star
Yeah,
Wars kick,
we
I'm
don't
like, I'm gonna
either.
ride this out for a while because I have not been watching TV at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we don't either. We literally have to like set it all up in order to watch something because
mm,
I didn't want to have this massive TV take up all the space in the boat. So we have a projector. So we actually have to like physically set everything up. So it has dwindled our watch time, which has been good. It's been a good thing for us. That way we're not such couch potatoes in such a way. And she has enjoyed every one of the other books you've asked me to read. Well, that is good. That is so good to hear. I have such a long list for you because not only is she planning on finishing Wheel of Time, but then she's like, I think I'll start Dune right after. And I'm like, you need a break. You need a break. Mainly because I need you to read the books that I have read so that I can talk to you about them.
mhm.
But that's okay. You read what you want. That's the fun thing about reading. So, well, I'm tempted to go ahead and keep going some more, but I'm also like, I think I would regret that later if I did, because it's already been
Yeah, I
2 weeks.
don't wanna overdo it for you when you have stuff planned later.
Yeah, yeah, and I still gotta get, I still have to get some stuff done for before everything happens tomorrow, because at midnight tonight, people can start reading and submitting all their points. So it's like I need to make sure I have all of that stuff lined out, and then tonight is going to obviously be sprint, so I'm gonna be doing all that. So I probably should sign off as much fun as I'm having. We will be sure to do this again. This was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yes, and thank everybody for being here. And those of you who are in the book club tonight, 7:30, you guys should have the link. And then Saturday morning, I'm thinking it's going to be 8 Central Time, but I have to double check with the leaders and double check my plans. But I'm thinking it's going to be 8 o'clock here at this Central Standard Time, like I said. So feel free to join in on that. It can be, it's going to be reading productive as time as well because it's Saturday morning, so sometimes you got to be productive. But until then, thanks, Sam, for being here, and we will see all you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye.